So I'm in the room by myself right now and I'm calm. I can completely tell y'all what has been going on with what people have been doing to me in America without people coming around and trying to make me seem like I'm erratic and bothering me and trying to stop me. And the reason why is because they got some sort of demonic possession, but they want to seem like I do because I got the Holy Spirit. But God did say a spiritual war, spiritual battle. So the phone cut off on me when I was saying something about Marcus Mitchell. Marcus Mitchell had me over there at Luther Landing Apartments, and they had me on my channel trying to stand up for him while they were staging altercations with him at the Luther Landing Apartments. Marcus Mitchell brought me to Luther Landing Apartments. He met me at the West End where all the men was meeting me all over the city. Ever since I left the jail, my sisters and them left me outside with this coven so that these men could be picking me up and stuff like that and trying to cover everything up. So Marcus Mitchell was one of the men that picked me up, and he picked me up from by the West End train station. When I was leaving the train station, I noticed he was in a group of men that was following me around 5 Points train station, and they had been trying to set me up to be arrested for a death ritual. And or whatever, yeah, that's what they tried to do to me in the jail, and told me that they would continue to try to murder me. And not to tell about what happened to my son and that they would kill me. So Marcus Mitchell, he brought me to Luther Landing Apartments and said that that I would have to say that he was my boyfriend if he would give me any money, like just $25 he gave me, and then he was saying he has to be my boyfriend, and he let me come and stay there with him. And he was a paranoid schizophrenic, supposedly they were saying. He told me, but I didn't know that. He didn't tell me that the first day he brought me, he was acting and behaving so nice and normal, luring me in with not having a place to stay, knowing I didn't have a place to stay. So I pretty much had to go with this man because they staged to have me out the Salvation Army, these women in these covens and that's possessed with these demons. And I ended up having to go with him after several. They tried to attempt to set me up at other locations. And then I exposed that, and they were mistreating me, and you could see them mistreating me on camera and stuff in their homes. And then Marcus Mitchell brought me to Luther Landing Apartments, and I was realizing that I was being sprayed with chemtrails. He was trying to pretend like he didn't know. There were drug dealers all around, coming around and smoking weed around me while I was making videos and cigarettes, and offering me money for sex when I was hungry. And Marcus Mitchell was leaving the house and saying he was going to work. At first he made it seem like he had a job, and then when I was in there releasing evidence and like making music to relieve stress, they ended up having him say he quit his job and could have to sit in the house with me, and he was in the room with me watching me and trying to start fights with me and trying to discredit me and trying to stress me to make me smoke because of all the wickedness that the people did to me. It stressed me to smoke cigarettes, and I'm pregnant. And so then when I come into their house and I tell them the truth that I was pregnant and that I'm pregnant, and the truth about my baby and everything, and what the KK did, even though God already told me that they knew and that they was bringing me in the house and setting me up, and something about them being worshipers of Satan and being possessed and doing some witchcraft. And so he said America was wrong for what they were trying to do to me, and he said I needed to get on social media and make myself look pretty on that day, like a long time ago, and told me to tell them that they had black men around me when I was at Henry Brown house. God told me to tell and show that how Henry Brown at Cannon Jewett had DUI charges and disturbing the peace and drunk intoxication or something, and he was hiding the cover over his head on the couch trying to hide me from showing his face. And God told me to start filming their faces because they were trying to do it to have me murdered as part of a death ritual for a coven, for the United States coven. And then so they basically they See, it's been so many people involved, but he was using a blanket and covering his head and trying to stage the altercations with me there. And every time I exposed what they doing to me in somebody's house, I end up having to leave due to them about to get violent with me, or due to them trying to set it up to make the police come or try to hurt the baby, and or say that or discredit me and set me up somehow. That's all they've been doing. And so and then trying to say they Christians, and then trying to keep me from reading the Bible, a real Bible, trying to keep me from talking about God and how it's biblical, and then trying to be in the room with me and have me in the room with a Satanist that's doing demonic shit, and then meeting up with other Satanists while I'm in the room and trying to do a ritual on me. And then trying to make it seem like I'm supposed to be just cool with the person that's there trying to do the ritual on me. And so that's what they've been doing in all their houses, and then trying to scare me and make me think that they're going to kill me or whatever. If I tell, this is what they told me in the jail. So, of course, I'm scared, because every time I go somewhere and I realize that I went to Satan and that they keep trying to do it, then